Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be decluttering my makeup bin. It is completely out of control. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be decluttering my makeup. The bin is getting to the point of being actually slightly dangerous, so it is definitely time to declutter. I have a very small collection of makeup. I kind of am a makeup minimalist because I have so much skincare. I only allow myself this small bin of makeup, and it is definitely time to edit and declutter this bin. I'm going to sort this all out. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to get rid of what I'm not using. All my makeup. I even had to go into my bathroom and grab a couple items off the vanity because I did not have room in my bin. I realized my bin was completely filthy, so I've cleaned that and it's ready to go. The first thing I want to mention is I had an empty in there. I was supposed to throw this out in August. The Girl Meets Pearl was at the bottom of my bin and it needs to go into the garbage because it's empty, and I believe they've discontinued this. Next up is the Dermablend Setting Spray, Power Setting Spray 2-in-1. I'm almost done with this, but there's a little bit left. I don't use a setting spray all that often, so it takes a long time for me to go through these. I also don't use a primer very often, but I really like the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. Super hydrating, silicone-free, if that's important. Sometimes too many silicones as you're doing your makeup kind of start to pill. So it's always nice to have a silicone-free primer. I only have a tiny bit left of this, but it's the only primer I have, and I don't use it very often, so I'm going to keep that. Let's talk about skin tints. I've purchased some new ones recently. My favorite one so far is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. I've been wanting to try this for a while. This is super hydrating. This is in the color Rendezvous, and it works beautifully on my skin tone. It's a really nice match, and it's just super glowy and moisturizing. The next skin tint that I recently purchased is the Westman Atelier. This is their Complexion drops. I'm not as fond of these because they're a little more opaque, or a little more coverage than I would want in a skin tint. And it kind of settles into my pores and it really doesn't look that great on my skin. On top of it, I kind of made the mistake and picked up a color that's too light for me. And I don't even think it's gonna work in the summer because it's just too light. So this was an unfortunate purchase, but I wanted to give it a try. It was on sale, so I'm glad I gave it a try. Another skin tint that I tried this summer, a BB cream by Maybelline, the BB Fresh. This is SPF 30, and also this was a bit of a disappointment. It's a little too heavy, and I know BB creams can be a bit heavy, but this was not a good color match. It doesn't really blend into the skin very well, so this is a bit of a disappointment, and that's getting decluttered. I'm gonna keep the Westman Atelier and give it a few more tries. Maybe I can find a way to use it. Next up is the Trini London. This is her BFF Skin Perfector SPF 30. I was so excited to try this. This is one of those color blending formulas, and this is a perfect match for my skin tone. I absolutely love this, but my skin doesn't love it. Unfortunately, one of the sunscreen filters in here makes my skin turn bright red by the end of the day. I am so disappointed because I love this formula. I love the coverage. It's light and it's just beautiful. But unfortunately, one of the sunscreen filters just doesn't agree with me. And I also had a problem with that this summer with one of the sunscreens that I was trying. And I'll put the name of the sunscreen filter that I've isolated that is starting to break my skin out down below. Can't remember it off the top of my head. The next one is the Erborian Cc Crème. Love this, almost out of it. Another blending cream. This is super expensive. I only buy this, and you can get it at Ulta. I only buy this when it's on sale, but I love this. It's a little bit pinker than the Trini London. I was kind of hoping that the Trini London would take its place. One of my classic favorites, tinted hydrators, is the Wet n Wild. It's a little bit dark for me, this particular color, in the winter time, so I'm gonna save it and finish it up in the spring. It's a lovely, lightweight tinted hydrator, and it's super affordable. You can find it at the drugstore really easily. Next up are my foundations. Best Skin Ever. I picked this up a while back. It's a really good match for my skin tone. A little more coverage than I would usually use. This is in 11P. Sephora's Best Skin Ever. In Maquillage, I actually received this in PR. This is not a great skin match for me. And I have another one that is better, but I can't find it. I think I gave that to a friend, but this one is way too peachy. This is in the tone 35. Woke Up Like This foundation. So, and this is a little bit more matte coverage than I would typically wear. So this is not one of my favorite foundations, and the color match that I had, like I said, I think I let someone borrow it and I haven't gotten it back yet, but unfortunately I'm going to pass this on to someone else who could use it. Another favorite that I picked up, I believe it was over the summer, is the Nars Light Reflecting, but something's going on with the cap. It's super leaky and I don't really know what's going on with this, but like I said, it's kind of defective, but let me open it up at least so I can swatch it for you. I actually really, this is going to be a mess, I'm going to have to clean up, but I actually really like this foundation. It's a really nice match for me. It's very light coverage and it's super illuminating and hydrating. Next up is one of my absolute favorite all-time foundations by Hints. This is their Second Skin Foundation, SPF 30. This is a perfect match for my skin tone. It has a little bit of fragrance, so if you don't like fragrance, then it won't work for you. This is number 22, and most all of their tones are kind of a medium to very light beige, but this is a beautiful foundation if you're similar to my skin tone. Let's go through, before we go into highlighters, let's go through some concealers that I've been trying. My most recent purchase in concealers is the Kosas, super creamy, love this. Sits right in the corner of my eye to brighten things up. Really happy with the Kosas concealer. I'm also really happy with three of the Il Makiage concealers that I got. I'm trying all three, still playing around with these, and these were received in PR. I actually really like this concealer, and it's very brightening and color correcting at the same time, and also a great match for my skin tone. The Kosas is a little bit creamier than the Il Makiage, but I still like the Il Makiage a lot. And I'm playing with the three different colors they gave me. They all kind of work fairly well. The one that matches the best is, I think, 06. And let's put it to next to 35 that I just tried. And it's a little bit more of a skin tone and not quite as brightening. So it does a little bit more correcting. But I'm really enjoying the Il Makiage concealers. All right, next up, two concealers that I'm going to have to declutter. This is the Trinity London. It's really just sticky and tacky. I guess I've just had it for too long, and I was really happy with this for a long time. It's just a touch, but I have to say that I'm more impressed with the Kosas than I am with this, and this is kind of drying out, so I'm going to have to toss that. And another one that's completely dried out is the MAC Painterly. I am really disappointed in that. I can't use it. I can't get it to work, so that also is getting decluttered. Next up, let's go through some highlighters. My favorite highlighter, this is the Westman Atelier highlighter. I love this highlighter. It just gives a hint of brightness to the cheek area or anywhere you want to use it. One of my absolute favorite highlighting products that doesn't have any tint. It's not sparkly, it's just super brightening. This is actually one of my holy grail highlighters. I'm definitely keeping it. I'm almost done with it. Next up, Charlotte Tilbury and e.l.f. e.l.f. is the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and I actually like both of these. The e.l.f., you get a lot more product for the price, but the doe foot is massive. But it sits really nicely under my foundation for just a nice peek through highlighter with a little bit of tint. And I've also used this if I want a real glowy sort of light makeup day. I've also used this just as a foundation or a skin tint. Here's the Charlotte Tilbury, the classic, so similar to the e.l.f., a little bit darker. To be honest, I kind of prefer the e.l.f. Halo Glow as opposed to the Charlotte Tilbury, especially for the price. I'm happy with either one, and for the price and how much more you get, I'm going to be sticking with the e.l.f. I'm not decluttering this, by the way. I'm just not going to be repurchasing. Next are my two pressed highlighter powders. This is my absolute holy grail favorite. It's the Hourglass Ambient Light Powder. Unfortunately, it had a little bit of an accident while I was decluttering. It fell out of my bin and cracked, which I'm really sad about, but I'm going to be using it up. This is a holy grail. I love it just over a little bit of foundation to sort of tamp down any shine. I also love it over a sunscreen. If your sunscreen is a little bit too glowy, this is the perfect pressed powder to use. A new one is the Westman Atelier. This is their Vital Pressed Skincare Powder. I purchased it in Pink Bubble, which I think is so pretty. This is the Hints Blush. This is their Blush On. I love this. This is a number G001. This just gives the perfect little tint to my cheeks. It looks great with gray hair. Definitely will be finishing this up and keeping this. Next is another Trinity London product. Unfortunately, this is not working out as well as I'd hoped. This is the Freddie Bunny T-Tone combination, and I'm finding that the Freddie color is just a little bit too warm for me. It's very similar to a lip product that I've worn for years, the Surprise by Clinique. And this is one of the first lipsticks I ever used. And I was hoping that it would work out. As you can see, they're very similar, but they're both really warm and they don't work that well with my gray hair. The Bunny is really pretty. It's just a light shimmer lip gloss, but the Freddie and also the Surprise Clinique is no longer working because it's just too warm of a tone with my gray hair. But I'm continuing to kind of play with it, maybe just use them as a cheek color. Another lip to cheek product that I found this summer, YouthForia Bio Blush. This is such a unique product. It changes color with your skin pH. I love this for a lip and I love this for a cheek color. And as you can see, it's a little bit more pink, which is more complementary to my gray hair these days. So I'm definitely keeping the YouthForia Bio Blush. Last is a bronzer that I'm really trying to get through. The Westman Atelier Peau de Peche. When I want a little bit more definition, I will grab this if I need a little bit more glow. It's a very pretty product and it is a little bit warm for me, but I can play around with this to get this to work. Let's go through eyeshadow palettes and then we'll go through lips and mascaras. Tartelette and Bloom, my favorite shadow palette of all time. It's not going anywhere. I absolutely love it. A new one I picked up right before my son's wedding is the Too Faced Natural Eyes. I absolutely adore this palette as well. Unfortunately, the Hints palette that I picked up last December, I just never reach for it. As you can see, it's hardly used. I'm going to pass it on to someone who'll get some more use out of it. So I just feel like I have enough shadows to play around with right now. So I'm going to pass this on to someone else who might get more use out of it. So those are getting decluttered. Okay, let's go through some lip products. This is the Chantecaille. I believe it's the color Freesia. I love this lipstick. Beautiful. It's from their Giraffe collection. Absolutely love it. I'll swatch it for you. As you can see, it's just a beautiful sheer pink shimmer. Love it with just a little bit of shimmer. Absolutely love that. Keeping that. The Wonder Skin product that I was having so much fun with this summer, unfortunately, is super dried out. There's a little bit of the activator left. This is a really fun product. It goes on purple. Then you activate it with a spray. Well, actually, there might not be any more spray left. You activate it with a spray, and then you peel it off, and it changes tone with your skin tint. Let's talk about the Eye Method lip gloss. I actually really like this lip gloss. I have a discount code for this, and I'll put it down in the description. It's just a really lightweight pink lip gloss, and I'll be keeping that. This is going to get decluttered. This is my Covergirl, where you put on the base matte tint and then you cover it with some lip gloss. This is just getting old. It's just time for it to go. I actually liked this product, but I just didn't reach for it as much as I did in some of the other lip products, and so it just needs to be decluttered because it's old. One of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury lip glosses is their Superstar. Love this. I will continue to repurchase. It's a beautiful mauve color and not too warm. It's the perfect lip gloss for me. I have one in each of my purses and I will definitely be repurchasing. Hopefully they don't discontinue it because I absolutely love it. That's a keeper. So let's get into some brow and lash products. This is my Revitalash Advanced Serum that I use every other night. I'm going to be keeping that, but I'm going to be putting it with my skincare. I'm not sure how it ended up with my makeup. Next up, my Holy Grail, They're Real Tinted Primer by Benefit. Love this. This is a beautiful primer, and what I've been doing lately, sometimes I use it just on its own, a couple layers of it, and it's absolutely the perfect amount of mascara for me for a daytime look. But I've been topping it off with the Tower 28, the mascara, the curling mascara. Absolutely love these two mascaras together. This has a really unusual wand, does a beautiful job curling my lashes. I don't use a lash curler because I've had an accident with them before pulling out my lashes. But this combo is fantastic and I'll be keeping both of those. This I'm going to be decluttering. This is the They're Real mascara in brown. It just doesn't really suit my eye color anymore because with the gray hair, actually a darker mascara works a lot better. I'm going to be decluttering this. I've had it for over a year, so it's time to let this go. Another mascara I tried this summer is the Covergirl Professional Remarkable. I actually really like this mascara. It is also brown, but it's dark enough that it doesn't sort of clash with my brows and my gray hair. So I'm going to be keeping this. It's a little bit on the dried out side, but I think I have a few more uses left. So I'm going to finish that up. The Glossiers, both of these are great products. I love the Glossier Brow Gel, but it's in brown. I've currently transitioned to a gray brow gel. I use the Benefits Brow Gel, and so I'm going to be repurchasing the Benefits and tossing this. We're getting down to the end. This is the Glossier Brow Flick. I love this product. If you have one little area of your brow that's sparse, you can just use this to fill it in. And it works beautifully just on its own. Sometimes I don't even use a brow gel. I'll just use this to fill in the sparse areas and call it done. So I'm definitely keeping this. Oh, last but not least, another lippy. This is by Perricone. I have a 25% off discount for all Perricone products, so definitely check the description box if you're into Perricone. I love this lipstick. Again, it's not too warm. It just has a nice mauve tone. It shears out beautifully. It's their no makeup. I'm keeping this. So that's the end of my makeup collection. I'm going to tidy up and then we'll take a look at everything fits into my bin. Fingers crossed that it does. I was able to get everything in my bin with a little bit of room to spare. Thank you so much for joining me for my makeup declutter. If you haven't joined the Beyond 50 Skin family, definitely consider doing so. We have lots of fun with skincare, hair care, and makeup. So subscribe, click that notification bell, and thank you so much for watching today and have a skintastic day.